Sit back, relax and enjoy listening. RK quietly left SV's office, ensuring she didn't notice his presence. As he walked through the bustling streets, his mind was clouded with thoughts. Passing by a towering building, he paused abruptly. His eyes locked onto the structure, and memories from the past came flooding back. It was here, this very building, where SV and RK first crossed paths. He clearly remembered the day they first met. The chaos, the media frenzy, and the reporters hounding him for interviews. The vivid memory of someone stepping into the room in a sleek black shirt and pants, silencing the crowd with her commanding presence. The way she had humiliated that reporter John, in front of everyone by slapping him without hesitation. Your passage is almost there. To reflect RK's uncertainty about whether the girl is telling the truth, or if John is the reporter. You could adjust the wording slightly for clarity, and to emphasize his confusion. Here's a refined version. The scene replayed in RK's mind, and another memory surfaced: John. The same man who abandoned him during the fire incident, leaving him behind to fend for himself. RK had once believed John was a good person, but his inaction during the fire proved otherwise. How could he do that? How can someone be so different from what they show the world, hiding what's really inside? RK muttered under his breath. He remembered what the girl had said the night before. She had called the reporter someone who appeared kind on the outside, but was truly something else inside. A person who looked good in front of others, but was really selfish and cruel. But as the thought passed, something began to click in RK's mind. The girl from last night, her story about being humiliated by a famous reporter. Her words echoed alongside the memory of SV's actions that day. Could it be? Was SV punishing John for? But RK wasn't sure. Was the girl telling the truth, or was it just another story? And was John that reporter the girl was talking about last night, or what? RK's thoughts spiraled into chaos, one question leading to another. The pieces didn't fit together perfectly, but the possibility planted itself firmly in his mind. By the time RK reached his company, it was already 3 p.m. The moment he stepped inside, his team rushed to him, their faces filled with concern. RK, what happened? Are you all right? One of the team members asked anxiously. You left without a word this morning, and no one knew where you were. RK hesitated, the weight of their concern pressing down on him. That morning, he had agreed with his team that SV wasn't worth his thoughts or care. Yet here he was, having risked so much to make sure she ate. He couldn't lie to them, but how could he explain himself? It's nothing, RK said, attempting to brush it off casually. But where were you, RK? And why? Another team member pressed, his worry evident. RK glanced at Jill, who stood at a distance, offering a reassuring smile. Taking a deep breath, RK decided it was time to confront the truth. I was at SV's office, he admitted, his voice quiet but steady. The room fell silent for a moment before the team erupted with questions. What the heck did she do now? One exclaimed, his tone angry. RK, are you okay? What does she think she is, making your life so difficult? Another chimed in. Who is she to call you to her office? Why does she think she can do this to you? RK raised his hands to calm them, knowing he needed to explain. She didn't call me. I went there myself. The room fell silent again, the weight of RK's words sinking in. You chose to go there, Member 2 finally asked, disbelief in his voice. Why? RK hesitated for a moment, unaware of how to reveal the truth without exposing that he still thought about SV. Member 4 interjected. Okay, so you were there to tell her that she doesn't belong in your thoughts, and she has no right to be angry at you or make you listen to her nonsense. Right, RK? They assumed RK had finally turned his back completely on SV, but the truth was far from their assumption. RK took a deep breath, knowing this was the moment he had to be honest. It's nothing like what you're thinking, he began, his voice steady but hesitant. SV didn't call me for anything, and I didn't go there to confront her or say anything to her. I was just there to check on her. Member 5 jumped in as RK paused. Check on her? What RK? RK continued. I got a call from her mother this morning. She said SV is dealing with some childhood trauma. It's making her angry and distant, but not at me. She said SV is angry at herself for feeling weak. Member 1 interrupted. And you believe that, RK? After everything she's done to you? RK met his gaze, pausing for a moment before answering. I don't know, he admitted. I don't know what to believe. But when her mother said that, I started thinking, what if I was wrong? What if she's not angry at me? What if she's hurting herself? His voice grew softer. The thought of her being angry at herself, hurting herself. I just couldn't ignore it. I had to make sure she was okay. Another team member scoffed. Oh, my innocent brother, he said. RK, you think too much about others, no matter how they treat you. That's your nature, and we love you for it. But trust me, SV doesn't deserve it. After everything she's done, she doesn't deserve your care or your thoughts. RK fell silent, their words weighing heavily on him. These were his people, his team, his family. They always had his back, always wanted what was best for him. Yet here he was, feeling like he was betraying them by still caring for SV. His thoughts spiraled further. Why? Why can't I just listen to them? Why do I still care? Jill, who had been quietly observing from the corner, stepped forward. He had seen the conflict in RK's eyes, the battle between his heart and his mind. Enough, Jill said firmly, addressing the team. You're all missing the point. The room turned to him, surprised by his sudden interjection. Jill continued, his voice steady and thoughtful. RK isn't weak for caring about SV. It's easy to write someone off, to say they don't deserve your thoughts or your kindness. But it takes strength to care about someone who's made mistakes, to try and understand them even when it's hard. He turned to RK, his expression softening. You're doing what you think is right, RK. And that's not something to be ashamed of. But Jill, one of the team members protested, after everything she's done. Jill held up a hand to stop him. I'm not saying SV is right. I'm not saying RK should ignore everything that's happened. But I think we all know RK well enough to understand why he's doing this. He's not doing it for her. He's doing it because it's who he is. And that's what makes him the leader we all respect. The room fell quiet, Jill's words hanging heavily in the air. RK looked at him, gratitude and conflict warring in his eyes, still unsure of what to believe and what not.